Keep your distance, darling.
Defender of the people.
You're gonna be a hunter, so show it.
Let's move.
See? It squealed! Hit it again!
Keep your hands steady, 3.
Again! Again! Make it squeal again.
It's staying right here. The beasts came in here with those robbers, killed Dink and Mince too. Boss is thinking of serving it to the wargs. But first, 3 more stones. Make it nice and bloody.
Yeah! Hit his head! I want to hear more noises!
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Go for the throat.
Battle favors the fearless.
Can't give up. Not now.
Still on my feet. What do I have to lose?
Time to kill. There's blood in the air. This will do nicely.
Let's finish this. On I go.
Blood comes easy these days. Ugh, time for some bloody work. This is my time. shouldn't have made me your enemy.
Can you feel death's cold grip?
No holding back.
I'm ready.
My faith will protect me.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
Forever dauntless. Making my move.
Have to keep going.
I won't give in.
Shall we cut and run? Be quick.
This is my time.
Stayed interesting.
Pardon the viscera. One should cherish all of nature's bounty, but goblin guts are quite far down the list. You aided a bear without knowing if it would savage you. A true friend of nature. Or perhaps a lunatic. Either way, I owe thanks. I am the druid Halsin. Yes, but just Halsin will suffice. Unbecoming to demand honorifics from the one who saved my hide. Indeed? Ah, not the most opportune moment, but given the lengths you went to, I assume there's some urgency. Come on then, what's the problem? Unless you'd rather wait for an audience of goblins. Oak Father preserve you, child. You're infected, aren't you? the Mind Flayer's spawn. But something's different. You're aware of the monster inside you. You don't bow to the Absolute like the true souls do. How is this possible? That looks very alien. As alien as the Mind Flayers. They do not belong on this world. You weren't speaking lightly when you said you needed help. Let me tell you what I know. I've been studying these parasites for a while now. Ever since I discovered these so-called true souls are infected with them. Someone is using very powerful magic to modify these tadpoles. They're using them to exert control over the infected. I'm sorry to say, I can't undo that magic, which means I can't cure you. But that doesn't mean I can't help. I didn't find what I came here for, a way to remove the tadpoles, but I found the next best thing. I found out where they come from. That must be where these enchantments are placed on them. And it's where you'll find your cure. I overheard that the cultists are sending all of their captives to Moonrise Towers. Innocents go in, true souls come out. Given that all of these true souls are infected, it has to be the source for this magic. If you want to find a cure, you must head there and discover how the tadpoles are being manipulated. I wish I could, but there's still work I've yet to finish. Blood I've yet to spill. I've no right to ask more of you, but if you could help me, I'd be free to join your journey to Moonrise. I cannot allow these butchers to threaten my grove. The natural order must be protected. My thanks. If you prevail, I'll owe you the debt of a lifetime. Rare is the beast that survives decapitation. Help me eliminate the Drow Minthara, the Hobgoblin Draw Ragslin, and that perversion of a priestess, Gut. They are the ones holding these parasites together. Remove them, and nature will cure itself. Be warned. My presence could make things more difficult. I can only restrain my bear form so much. I won't be able to help but attack goblins. If I join you, we'll likely have to slaughter this entire place. You may want to use discretion when approaching the goblin leaders. May Sylvanas guide your hand. Focus on the leaders. That's all it will take to restore the balance here.
Looking ahead.
Well, hello. What can I do for you? Who knows? Drow? Mind flayers? Death? Hopefully not ours. But maybe answers. If we can convince the right people to talk. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. It sounds...
Well met.
So, that's what people mean when they talk about butterflies in their stomach. Did you want something?
How can I help?
Hey, soldier. Hell yes.
than nothing.
How can I help? Ah, yes. Karsus. Karsus was perhaps the most powerful wizard that ever lived. The child who would be a god, the elves called him. And he tried. With a spell of his own devising, he endeavored to usurp in one fell swoop the power of the goddess of magic. Mistral, she was called then. Imagine what it must have felt like to be a god, to know yourself, to be untouchable, to be mistaken. As Karsus aimed his spell at her, she began to unravel, and with her, the entire weave. Too late did he realize what he had unleashed. It would have been the end of everything had not Mistral sacrificed herself. The goddess of magic is all magic. By dying, the entire weave was lost, and the spell that challenged a god failed. It was the end of Mistral, the end of Karsus, and the end of an entire civilization. As the child who would be a god was turned to stone, his empire came crashing down around him. The floating cities of Netheril were no more, an event that came to be known as Karsus's folly. If it takes the death of a god to stop you, I'd say your ambition has gotten somewhat out of hand. Not that I'm one to talk, of course. Now, so many centuries later, I try to follow in the footsteps of Karsus. Not to destroy Mistra, but to prove my love for her. I tried to control only a fraction of the magic that was unleashed that fateful day. I merely sought to return one tiny diamond to an imperfect crown. Gale's folly, one might call it. History, repetition. It's the way things go. If it should ever come to that, if I ever know I am no longer able to stop it, I will do anything I can to ensure no one but me pays for my mistakes. I will find the remotest place on the surface of Faerun, or perhaps far below in the depths of the Underdark. I will await that death, alone. I promise I will not betray your trust. You kept me by your side despite the menace that I am. If worse comes to worst, I will be long gone before the curtain falls. Think of it as tribute. The kind a king might pay to a more powerful neighbor to avoid invasion. As long as I pay, there will be peace. But should I ever stop, along comes a war. I can assure you, the battlefield would extend well beyond the borders of my body alone. An eruption the size of Waterdeep, I think my exact words were.
What are they delaying for? Can't we just swarm the forest?
Drow wants to know exactly where those adventurers came from.
What are they doing? Hiding in trees? We'll smoke 'em out, no.
That the jingle of coin I hear? You've timed it well, my friend. Already turned quite the profit today, so I'm feeling generous. You recognize the crest she bears, the winged serpent of the Zentarim.
Half right, sharp eyes. Zen is a normal trader. Just a matter of what's for sale. Weapons and other exotic goods, true enough. But most of all, we offer discretion. No judgment, no right and wrong, just good deals and bad. That a problem for you? You joking? Goblins sell the best prisoners. Cheap, quiet, and eager to be elsewhere. Till this crowd converted and started sending their captives to Moonrise Towers, at least. No complaints, mind. I just sold enough smoke powder to cover the loss 10 times over. All I need to. There's an awful lot of folk flowing that way. And coin is sure to follow. Might have to find my faith and see this absolute for myself, eh? Still some deals to be done here, though. You want to trade or what? Pleasure. Need something else? Pleasure.
As good as, boss. Got a professional working on it right now.
That's a fact. I tell you, the scrying eye was looking at me all strange. Right. What would some drow wizard in Moonrise want?
Might be useful. What's in here?
decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems. It seems the tunnel collapsed mid-dig and suffocated him. A crooked heart is embroidered on his left shoe. The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed.
Need something else? Pleasure.
Don't get too comfortable, you horrible sacks of muck.
Sugan al Sukok, o Taishokek doors! I command you, corpse. Speak! Reveal truth to the Absolute! By Balduran's bones. Nothing. Must be reading it wrong. Sugan al Sukok!
This is the big boss. Strike him down.
The hobgoblin turns to you, and the parasite squirms in your skull. You taste the ale on his tongue and the bile in his soul. The visions cloud your inner eye for a brief moment once again. You see the hobgoblin hobgoblin, bowing before the armored elf you'd glimpsed before. The elf speaks of the hunt for a great weapon, and the rewards that will go to whoever finds it. The hobgoblin's eyes gleam hungrily.
If it isn't another true soul.
He doesn't speak his next words, yet they still rattle your skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance.
This Mind Flayer's build is smaller, its garb plainer. A fearsome creature even in death, but not the one that tormented you. Yet it too roamed the Nautiloid. It would have seen you, known you.
Absolute says the dead squiddy had a weapon. I reckon the killer nabbed it and scooted off to that looter camp. We find who killed it, and we find who took that weapon. So settle in.
You choke on black smoke as the hobgoblin bellows his incantation.
I command you, corpse, speak and say sooth. Lucan ok al koldek shulkok hank.
The hideous corpse rises, tentacles writhing. Your heart seizes. Under questioning, the creature might recognize you as its killer. Ragslin's mind reels, then calms. He will speak as you command. With Ragslin's voice, you ask.
What were you doing in Faerun?
Ragslin scowls, shocked by his own words, and a jolt shoots through your skull. The creature speaks in visions. A swarm of Githyanki dragon riders, silver blades held high, control panels melting, flesh pods spilled open.
Githemans. They know something.
He is suspicious, confused by the question that fell from his lips. You proceed carefully.
Why were the Gith chasing that ship?
You see dark tunnels lit by noxious pools of brine. The darkness spreads through the earth. The sky splits open and nautiloids pour out of a void that consumes the stars.
What in the...
Suspicion floods Ragslin's mind. Your brain howls as you force a final query into his throat.
Who killed you, freak?
Another vision consumes you. A memory seen through the creature's soul-dead eyes. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod, devoid of flesh, only darkness.
That can't be! Wait! Hold on.
Ragslin pierces your mind, prodding for truth.
It's you. Yeah, you're right. You're a real, true soul. I felt it.
The corpse collapses, silent once more.
No, no! I'm not done! Riddles, all of it, and nothing to show for the trouble but rotting squid meat. No answers, no killer, and no damned weapon. That damned Drow was right. Can't let her get all the glory. Seems I ain't done with you. Report to the Drow. Minthara's the name. She's mounting an attack on that blasted grove. Tell her you'll join her. Praise the Absolute. Listen, the Absolute. You fertilize the fields with the death. And stream with their blood.
Praise his ever-bleeding axe. Praise his throne of flaming iron. Praise Maglubiet.
You know Maglubiet, a tyrannical deity who treats his goblinoid followers as slaves.
Trying to interrupt my prayers? Scared of a real god? You're as goonless as the rest of them. 'Cause I'm loyal to Maglubiet. 'Cause I ain't having my head turned by some upstart god. Yeah, my old tribe's fallen for this shite, traitorous bastards. The great Absolute brings us together. Drow and gnolls and goblins all braiding one another's hair. It's a load of shite. Talking to you, ain't I? I just don't believe in all this togetherness and chumminess. Ain't natural. It won't last. They'll be tearing into each other soon enough. Sod 'em all. I'll wait it out in here, praying to a real god.
My good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flare specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Huh, ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim.
if I just peer in your eye, I could quickly...
Oh, dear sweet gods!
I mean, yes.
I suppose I can.
I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
Sharp as ever.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Well met. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
Lee.
The village to the east. It's abandoned.
Looks that way. But scouts said they heard something moving around out there. Something big.
It's not our concern. Our prey is elsewhere. How many raiders do we have?
Plenty of lashes, loads of hunters, and a few pariahs to carry the powder kegs.
These pariahs, they're prepared to fight for the Absolute?
What they do ain't exactly fighting. All they gotta do is light up their powder and burn.
Then they're prepared to die for the Absolute. Good.
Dying's the only thing they're good at.
You've been caught mid-robbery. Your next move had best be a careful one.
should I do? Got to focus.
Think the dwarf.
Can't stay idle.
Can't afford to let up.